It's Week 9 of the National Football League, and we'll get a look at the Penguin, Jalen Waddle. Always staying busy, he's your league leader in receiving yards. It's the Dolphins and the Panthers, and it comes your way next on Madden NFL 24.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to Uptown Charlotte and rain-soaked Bank of America Stadium. Today, it's a Week 9 matchup. We are all set to go, as it'll be the Miami Dolphins taking on the Carolina Panthers. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, we look at this Panther ball club as they enter play here. They come in feeling good after back-to-back victories.
And the offense last week, they had things humming. If you're a defensive player, you may get overshadowed a little bit, but you're really buoyed by what your offense is doing.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Dolphins, they're halfway home, looking good at a perfect 8-0.
And not much to complain about so far, is there? I'd have to say they're the best team in the NFL through the first half of the year.
The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final two bring us as we're off in Week 9? No run back here on the opening kickoff as we'll start at the 25. So here are the Panthers now for their opening drive. And they'll be led out by a guy who has a couple years under his belt in the NFL, their third-year quarterback.
He threw for nearly 350 yards. His team won. And one word just kept coming to mind as I watched him during the game: surgical. Absolutely surgical. That's why he won NFC Offensive Player of the Week.
Yeah, very precise. The throws maybe as accurate as he's been in some time.
Yeah, I think he feels pretty locked in here, and I think he feels like he can get it done again in this one too.
Let's go now.
First play, and Young is going to throw it. And incomplete to open things up. Amari Cooper, the intended target, but it'll be second down. You talk about this Miami defense. They've been a very good unit against the pass, defending at 5th best in the league.
And this is where we talk game inside the game. Top 5 passing offense versus top 5 passing defense. I wouldn't be surprised defensively if they change up coverages a bit more than usual to try and combat what they expect to see.
That's into a crowd and intercepted. It's DJ Turner who's got it. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line. Well, that is a quick lesson on how difficult this defense is to throw against. An interception on their initial drive of the ball game.
Now we know why their offensive staff spent the entire week awake trying to prepare for this one, because you can't totally shy away from throwing the football. But at the same time, you're looking at them and going, where are the weaknesses? How are we going to move it?
One of the top defenses in the NFL for a reason. We just saw one example right there. So here are the Dolphins now with excellent field position to start things out. They will be led out by the 6-foot lefty from Alabama. It's Tua Tagovailoa.
And what a first half of the season he's had, leading the NFL in passing yards to this point. He's been a tough man to slow down. So this defense certainly has its work cut out for him.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Going to take this one down to the 25. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3. So, CD, you look at this offense and what they've been able to do. 8-0, perfect through the first 2 months of the year. Second half of the season still to come. We get that. But what kind of a percentage chance do you think that they have of running the table?
Partner, I think it's hard to say, because history would tell us that the chances aren't good at all. We've seen a lot of good teams get to this point, and then they have that one bad week and takes them out of the running. I'm going to say 25%, and I feel like I'm being generous with that number. A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. 1st and goal, a chance to convert that early turnover into points. They'll try to run this this one in. A loss of 2 there, second down.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
So they're backed up to the 3-yard line, second and goal. They'll try to run this one in. After getting stuffed on first down, not much better there. 2-yard gain. Well, they'd really like to make the short field pay off. We'll see if they can, but this is third and goal. They'll try again. And this time he'll score. Touchdown, Miami. So the second down run didn't work. They run it again on third down and get in. I wasn't sure if they might pass it, Charles. We know that they like to mix it up down here around the goal line.
Yeah, almost felt like the offensive line said, forget mixing it up. Let's call our favorite running play over our best blockers, and let's get this one in.
The point after through the raindrops, up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. And the drive will begin at the 25 as Scott is going to stay in the end zone. The Panthers coming back out onto the field for their second drive. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, wound up leading to a touchdown the other way. How do you approach drive number 2?
Going back to your game plan coming in, everyone has matchups that they like better than others. Where they think they have an advantage, dial up some of those plays. Try and go to those spots and get your offense moving.
And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Jalen Phillips, the edge man on the tackle. You talk about this Miami defense. They were terrific last week against Buffalo in that victory.
The best defenses I know, they draw lines in the sand and say you're not going to cross that. For most of them, it's 100 yards of total offense. They didn't quite accomplish that, but still a pretty darn good game last week. Just over 100 yards of total offense given up.
And this pass defense, they were sensational in the win last week, and they're looking good here so far in this first quarter.
You know, we often talk about how offenses get locked in, and that runs over multiple games where they're really, in that zone. Defenses can be the exact same way, and I think we're seeing an example of it here.
That throw by Young incomplete.
That looks like it's going to be 2 empty possessions now to start this football game. I think they're going to have to sit down and talk about what worked for them last week in their win. Sometimes you over-game plan, overthink things. Get back to what works.
On is the punter Townsend as he gets this one away. Take it at the 37. 35 yards that time on the punt, and it'll be Dolphin football. So Miami coming out for their second drive. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the #1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in, but I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you, that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we'd be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today.
Right.
So they've got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in the spot where they're #1 in their conference.
Setting to throw on first down is Tua. He'll let this go deep for Waddle. This is caught inside the 15. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Jalen Waddle, touchdown number 18 on the year. And the Dolphins are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Boy, Charles, this offense is just so explosive. They lead the league in scoring. And another example of just how good they are right there on that play.
Yeah, we often overstate about how explosive teams are, but this team is truly a threat to score on every snap, especially on the first few plays of any series. And a big strike like that only adds to their reputation as the league's best offense.
Extra point up and good by Sanders, and it's now 14-0. And the drive will begin at the 25 as Scott is going to stay in the end zone. The Panthers offense here, they get ready to head back on the field. They're still in search of an initial first down as they come up here 1st and 10. It'll be Sanders to begin the drive. Yeah, this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. The numbers for Sanders last week, 24 carries, 130 yards.
I think he's exactly where he wants to be coming into a game, partner, because he has to still be riding the momentum from last week when he broke the century mark in rushing and had one of his best individual efforts of the season. I would expect that there's more from him on the way after that type of a game, and I know his teammates and coaches, they feel exactly the same way.
And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
Here now a 3rd down and 8. From the shotgun, it's Young. The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down. He couldn't get away there on 3rd down. The pressure too much, and he's sacked for a loss of 12. He is proving his worth defensively. Getting the sack here, that comes after being named the AFC Defensive Player of the Week for his performance in last week's game.
He's stacking games together, isn't he? I mean, you just mentioned what he did the previous week to be named AFC Defensive Player of the Week, continuing to play at that level. And when you get that kind of confidence going, those kind of guys are hard to stop.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away.
Holding. Receiving.
So holding there on the return, and that'll back him up to start the next drive.
Yeah, that's a pretty easy call right there, partner. I think when the officials look in their manual and see the expression, jersey getting pulled, that's a flag coming out every time.
They run the counter now on 1st down. And a solid run here as he'll pick his way down to the 42-yard line. Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a 1st down. Those are the types of run, Charles, that they say this first-year running back can provide a lot more of in the future.
He made it look easy, didn't he? Picking up that 1st down. Some have described him as a diamond in the rough with a lot of polish, nice little buffing. This guy could be one of the top backs going forward.
Now Achane on 1st and 10. We take a look at his numbers on the ground last week. Pretty good as he found himself in the end zone on 2 separate occasions.
And those are the most important numbers because no matter what you pile up prior to the goal line, getting in is all that matters. Putting those numbers up on the board, and they love them when they're 6s.
Now 2nd and 3. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And he is his tracks behind the... It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 4 coming up.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
Out of the gun on 3rd down, here's Tua. And that is incomplete. Really did everything to hold on to it, but a nice play defensively, and now it brings up 4th down.
How about this defense? They came up with a couple big plays in this sequence, and none better than the one right there, forcing the incompletion and bringing up 4th down.
And this will be a long field goal if the skies were clear, but here in the rain and the elements, they'll go for it on 4th. They're going for it. Here's Tua with it. And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6.
I'll tell you what, this is not for the faint of heart right here. 4th down, this is taking a big risk. But it's as good a play call as you can imagine. And the defense, just not able to come up with the stop they needed. And this is not just a 1st down, but a big play as well.
Now a chance to make that big play really hurt. It's 1st and goal just outside the 5. Here's a handoff out of the gun. And he'll get this one back to the 5-yard line, but no further than that. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal. This defense could use a few more plays like that right now.
It certainly could, but think about it from an offense's perspective right now. They've got a lead, but they don't want to throttle down too much and stall themselves. Still want to move at a nice pace.
And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. Give him right around 4 on the carry. We'll see if they want to keep pounding here on 3rd and goal.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
This defense hasn't let him in yet. They'll need to stiffen here. 3rd and goal. And he takes it into the end zone for the Dolphin touchdown. Alec Ingold with his 4th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Dolphins have moved out in front by 3 touchdowns. Boy, still in the first quarter, and look out. I mean, they are on pace for over 80 points in this game. I don't know that they'll get there, CD, but this has been impressive to watch so far.
That certainly would be history in the making, wouldn't it, partner? I'm glad we're here to actually watch and see if it actually happens, although, like you, I have my doubts, but they are firmly in control of this game.
Extra point up and good by Sanders, and it's now 21-0. So how about this for a start? 21-0 here in the first as they kick this one away. And the drive will begin at the 25 as Scott is going to stay in the end zone. Now the Panthers offense, they get set to come back onto the field. Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse that this is an important possession, but I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit. And if they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball. 3 scores down, not even a halftime yet. They are not getting much generated offensively. They've got to figure it out. It's tough because this defense just seems to be playing with so much confidence right now. They really are. They are on their toes, and they're getting at them.
Let's go.
So now 20 yards to go on 2nd down after the sack. Work to be done.
Ready.
Young will set to throw. Flush to his right. And he will slide down with a good gain. A breakdown defensively there as the script. Up with a much more manageable 3rd down. I thought they were going to sack him there like they did on 1st down. Great coverage, but he found a way to move with his legs.
Yeah, his ability to take off, not only did he get some yardage back, he got a little bit extra. Really helps him on 3rd down, makes it manageable now.
And Young's throw there incomplete.
Against a team coming off a win just as your team did the previous week, you talk about being physical all game long. Sometimes being physical is just being on the spot and helping force the incompletion.
And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. They'll score that a 36-yard punt, and it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. So now the Dolphins set to take over on offense. They've gone 2 months without a loss, 8 straight wins for them, and they've got the lead here in this one as well, trying to make it 9 in a row. Good starting field position for the Dolphins as they have it 1st and 10 at their own 37. Looking to pass. Tua. That's caught at the 25. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. A big pickup of 38.
Already over 1,000 yards receiving this season. That catch is just going to add to his total. Certainly not resting on his laurels. He's trying to continue to gain as many yards as possible and continue this big season.
So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. A give, running right, Achane. And he'll get about 5 here as he'll take this down inside the 20-yard line.
And that's exactly what you want on a first down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
On 2nd down, they'll run it here. And just a couple yards there down to the 17. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
On the carry, it's Chestnut. And it'll be a minimum pickup here as it will take us to the end of the first quarter. 21-0 our score after 1. It's Dolphins football here as we begin the second quarter, as they've got it with 4th down and 1. Going to the air, Tagovailoa. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And the Dolphins are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points. They only needed that 1 yard going for it on 4th. I got to be honest, I thought they were going to stay on the ground. They surprised me. Did they surprise you?
I'm with you on that one. I thought they'd find a way to create some type of a power run and try and pick up the 1st down, but they decided to keep the ball in the hands of the guy who could throw it, and it paid off.
Yeah, that decision paid off indeed. They'll run, Achane. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. Devon Achane. A 9-yard touchdown run. And the Dolphins are able to widen their lead here in this first half.
Sometimes you get a 1st and goal and you're back near the 7, 8, 9-yard line and you start thinking, maybe we'll run it here on 1st down to get half of what we need, so maybe we can have 2 or 3 shots at going for it from closer range. So this is a bonus right here. What a great run to work his way into the end zone.
Extra point up and good by Sanders. And the route is on here in this first half. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Now the offense for the Panthers here getting the football back. It hasn't gone particularly well for them, that's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it?
It is the age-old question, isn't it? And to me, finding a way to make sure your playmakers touch the ball without it being too exotic. Meaning you don't have to go deep down the field. Maybe you hit them on those short passes on the perimeter. Make sure you just turn around and hand it to your best runner and get out of the way. Don't cause any extra stress on your offense.
Still 9 yards to go on 2nd down from the 27. Young to throw it. And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's 3rd down.
That's now 6 dropbacks, 6 incompletions. Yeah, the defense has been pretty good early, but he's got to start hitting some of those throws. He's making them better than what they actually are.
The Panthers on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 9. That throw by Young incomplete. The passing game not in sync here early. And now it's 4th down.
Well, this first half has not gone according to plan so far offensively or even defensively for that matter. They could use a big-time spark somewhere, but it's not going to come on this drive as they have to punt this one away.
Fielded just inside the 30. Now a hit and a loose football. And it's picked up by the Panthers. And they'll start with great field position at the 41-yard line.
why, but it's always agonizing to me to see a guy make a mistake in this phase of the game because you can it's all on him. All eyes there. He's got a chance to make a punt return, and instead he ends up putting it on the carpet.
Puts it on the carpet. The little rubber pellets shoot up. Never a good sign for a returner on this field turf surface.
No, not at all. And a bunch of them go up when they're all trying to get to the football, don't they?
And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line after the loss to start out. Here's 2nd and 11.
One, check right.
Option right, Young. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. A good chunk on the ground on the keeper, 17 yards, first down.
I'll tell you, there is no antidote for speed, even at the quarterback position, as he keeps it himself and turns it into good yardage.
And it still takes time for a defender to react. Even as quarterbacks carry the ball more and more in today's NFL, they're still a little bit in disbelief and realize, oh my goodness, he's running with the ball. He may be 8, 10, 12 yards downfield at that point.
A throw on the quick slant going to be complete. So they'll get 8 out of that completion. And that'll bring up a 2nd down in just a couple.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for 2nd down, staying ahead of schedule. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
Now a first down throw for Young. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They look lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
Ready.
Here is Young.
Quick throw, and he's got Amari Cooper.
That'll leave him with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
Young on 3rd and 2. And they're going to get it. They bring him down to the sack back at the 16-yard line.
The pressure from multiple guys there as they bury him for a big 9-yard loss.
That's 3 sacks now, and that's not much of a surprise to me, nor should it be to you. This team, they lead the league in sacks.
Yeah, they do. This is something that we are starting to witness time and time again.
Cade York on now for the field goal.
This a 33-yard attempt.
York able to send this one through.
And that drops it from 28 to 25.
So the 3 points there, and CD, that helps them inch a bit closer.
Yeah, partner, when you're losing, any points you see go on the board in your favor, you're happy to take them.
And not willing to risk another fumble. He'll sit on this one. It's a touchback.
A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. It's the 2nd quarter. His team has the lead, but I think he's hoping for a little bit more production out of himself.
And we often talk about preaching patience to a runner when things are a little bumpy in the early going, but we have to do the same thing with the offensive line. They can't wait to halftime to make the adjustments. They have to do it from series to series so those surface tablets come in. Check out what the defense is doing. find a better way to run it.
So they search for that patience here now. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13.
Let's go. 21G, 21G. Solo left Zion. Solo left Zion. Let's go.
They just do get the playoff as he'll look to throw. Looking left side, and it's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. The catch and run pays off for 29 yards. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage. And tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
Well, that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be number 1.
So from Panther territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line.
And they'll run on the inside handoff.
And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
They suspected it was a power play up the middle coming at them, and boy, were they right. That defense got downhill in a hurry and limited them to just a couple on first down.
From the 46, here's the 2nd and 8. They'll run with Chestnut.
It'll be a gain of 5, but still about 3 yards shy of the first down marker, and now it's 3rd down.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
The Panthers turn to their nickel set here as they get ready for 3rd down. One back. Get the carry, and that one going nowhere from the start. Backfield and goes backwards. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there, forcing a loss on that play.
Nice jam. Nice jam. 20 TX.
Tagovailoa going for it on 4th down. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he will have a Dolphins first down. The defense a little lax there. They give up 9 on 4th and 4.
I remember in pregame when we were talking to him on the field, and he took his gloves off and showed us his fingers. A few misshapen ones in there, and now we know why, trying to catch those types of bullets.
That was a dart. Yeah, even for a talented receiver, those are tough to hang on to. 2 and now on first down. And he'll get this into the hands of Hill, complete. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
And these two hooked up on a nice gain to play before, and I always admire play callers that see a play that works and go right back to it, so they went right back to him. The reward, they're set up with 1st and goal.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. A 5-yard touchdown run.
And the Dolphins extend their lead yet again.
Sanders now to add the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. So that drive goes 8 plays, and it's finished off with a 5-yard touchdown run. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown.
Oh, a dangerous return man showing it here. And a nifty return there all the way across the 40.
Here are the Panthers now as their offense comes back out onto the field.
And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness, maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature, to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
Now a 2nd down throw for Young. Wide open, Amari Cooper. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield.
That's what we're used to seeing from him right there. Plays like that, why he's number 4 in the league in terms of receiving yardage.
Able to make adjustments all along the way. Doesn't matter where he lines up, where he releases from. Working his way into the secondary, figures out defenses and finds weak spots in order to get open.
Ready?
The play fake. Now Young. He's got his target. That's complete. And he is going to have a Panthers 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now Young. Oh, and that is incomplete.
Well, this defense is certainly organized and playing off of each other because the rush is providing pressure and the coverage is forcing incompletions and capitalizing on mistakes. When you get every level on defense hitting at once, you get 1st half scores just like this one.
To throw, Young. Oh, everything falling apart now. Another one intercepted. It's DJ Turner who's got it. And the Dolphins are going to get this back to their own 34-yard line.
And that's now the 2nd time he's picked off a pass here in the 1st half alone. Again, another great read defensively. And you just see him get in the right position to make the play and get his guys the football back.
1st down Miami as they get set to start the drive. And just inside of a minute left, Charles. They got a pretty long field ahead of them. I'm curious to see how they play this, but you would think definitely enough time to at least try to get 3 out of this.
Yeah, you want to move with a nice sense of pace. You want to up the tempo a little bit, but you have to do it with some poise as well. You don't want to go so fast that you hurry yourself into mistakes. There's enough time to put points on the board if they do it right.
And even though they have the lead, you know that they would love to extend this lead before heading to the locker room.
On first down, Tagovailoa. Throw left side, taken in by Hill. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half.
Go ahead.
Here's Tagovailoa on 1st and 10. That's going to be caught. Touchdown, Dolphins. Tyreek Hill, 26 yards. And the Dolphins will extend their lead in the final minute of the half. Week after week, Charles, when we see this offense operate, I don't know, they just seem to get more impressive.
They certainly do, and let's face it, it's no surprise they're the best in the NFL in scoring. This team designs things well and executes even better. And here, it only takes a few snaps before they're in the end zone. That's how they demoralize teams. That's how they put them on notice.
Sanders on for the extra point. And the route is on here in this first half. The long touchdown pass gets him 6 on a very, very tidy 2-play drive that time.
Jake Bailey set to kick off.
Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. And able to get this out to the 25. The Panthers going to go back on offense here late in this first half. Things for them, just to put it bluntly, man, it has been tough sledding here in the first half, facing that big deficit. The clock is dwindling now. Maybe if they can get something on the board here before intermission, they'll have at least a little momentum heading into the second half. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. That swung out wide to Sanders. Now the Panthers going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the second quarter. And this time they'll just keep this on the ground. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. The Panthers going to use the second of their timeouts. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Throwing, Young. And that's going to be too high, out of bounds and incomplete.
Trying to get something positive to happen here before the break, and they sure need it. They went for the big one, but it winds up incomplete.
Blue check, pink, opposite, green.
Off the play fake, Young. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here.
All right, help me out here a little bit, partner, because what I'm seeing is a passing game that's just struggled to complete anything. No rhythm, no timing. Seems like every pass is also contested well, so give some credit to the defense.
Ready.
On third down, they turn to Sanders. And a pretty good burst there as he'll get this across midfield and down to the 46. The Panthers have the first. It's a gain of 12.
First down. First and 10 at the 46.
And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter.
A 63-yard attempt.
So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. This was the old NFL record distance for decades, a 63-yard attempt. And this won't get there, won't be on line either. It's no good, off to the right. So we've reached halftime here in what is quickly turning into quite a rout. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, all right, Brandon, thank you very much. Hi again, everyone. Let's get you caught up with what's going on around the NFL as we are officially into the second half of the season. We'll get started up at FedEx Field in our nation's capital. And that one tied 14 apiece in the second quarter. From there, let's hop over to New England. Check out the Patriots at home in Foxborough. And you can see, currently they trail in that ball game. The Ravens looking to sew that one up, and they look to be in pretty good shape. Finally, we head to the shores of Lake Erie. See what's going on with the Cleveland Browns. As you can see, the score there in the second quarter. Joe Mixon, a touchdown run in that first half. Both these teams getting a chance to dry out, maybe change their cleats if need be, but halftime's just about over. Time to get back to it. And for the call of the second half, here's Brandon Gaud.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. And not willing to risk another fumble, he'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. Out comes the Dolphins now. They'll go on offense first here in this third quarter.
Well, this offense, this team, they are rolling right now, Charles. They've scored on 3 straight possessions. You look at the scoreboard, and they pretty much right now got this thing on cruise control.
Yeah, and this is that time of game where you and I have to be prepared, right? Isn't this kind of like the empty the bucket time where you have to go into your blowout material and make sure we have some different things? That's what we're staring at right now, the way this one is going.
They've got the lead early here in the third quarter, and runs like that are how they established that lead in the first half.
I love the fact that you're using the word lead because they are leading from the front, pounding on the defense right now with the running game, and truly establishing themselves here in the second half.
Now a toss right side. Achane with it.
Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be second down.
Absolutely love the effort there. The ability to flow from his inside spot and stop that one at the line of scrimmage. Nice linebacker play.
Second and 10. Throwing now is Tagovailoa. They set up the screen. Achane has it.
And he'll get it out to midfield. They'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1.
With all the success they've had throwing the football as a pass rusher, you know you've got to come hard when you see him drop back to throw. So I really like this call to counteract that pass rush with a screen. It turns into positive yardage. A lot of times the offense says, just replace the rusher with the ball, and it turns into a good play.
Past the 20. And he is finally going to be brought down, but not before he gets it to the Panthers' 5.
72 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
So it was 3rd and 1. The defense, they stacked the box, and that's the problem. You break through that first level, there's no second level.
And most good running teams work against stacked defenses. They don't care if you have 6 in the box, 7 in the box, 8 in the box. It doesn't matter to them. Block people, give your running back a chance because it could pay off big as it just did there.
Go ahead.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and... And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. loss of a yard there, and now second down.
Brandon, at some point, these defenders absolutely have to say, we've just got to make a stand. We've had enough of this.
Giving up a lot of points in this game, but looked better on that play. Second and goal from the 6 this time.
A run here with Chestnut.
And that'll move him a little closer as he takes it from the 7 down to the 4-yard line.
I have to laugh a little bit because he actually handed it off. I thought with the 2 touchdown passes he's thrown in this one already, he'd go ahead and fling and try and get a third one.
Yeah, now from this spot on 3rd down, I think he'd probably throw it here.
Yeah, I don't think there's any question about it. They won't even sit.
And he is in. Touchdown, Miami.
Julius Chestnut
taking it in from 4 yards out.
And the Dolphins take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. Boy, another score. This lead gets even bigger. And, Charles, we haven't even hit the 4th quarter yet.
Well, forget the deficit, right? They're really not going to cut into that a heck of a lot. But how can they get out of here with some dignity? Can they get a stop or two? Can they make a play on offense themselves? Anything to start to feel better about what's happened to them here in this one.
Sanders now to add the extra point. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told. And it results in a 4-yard touchdown run. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line.
The Panthers offense now, they head back on the field for their first possession of the 2nd half. So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Switch red, switch yellow, black swap.
They start on the ground here at Sanders. And he's got some space here. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. 23 yards on the pickup there and a first.
Touchdowns have not come easy, and neither have runs like this throughout this game.
Absolutely not. He finally felt like, whoa, a sigh of relief. We got something going in the running game. Young looks to throw on 1st down. Caught by the tight end Ertz. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42.
Such a tough position to defend near the line, even when you add a second defender, but the big man shrugged off the extra body and made the play call a success.
Young now. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
And there's another stop. One of the league's best defenses is certainly bringing it again this week.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass.
Ready.
Young will set to throw. And eventually taken down here. Great coverage downfield. It'll go in the books as a sack and a loss of a yard, but more importantly, it leads to 4th down. Here's the Panthers punter now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. The Dolphins offense now ready to go back out onto the field.
This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated, they both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
The linebacker, C.J. Mosley, in on the stop.
Running lanes were at a premium in the 1st half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big 2nd half.
On 2nd down, a run by Achane.
Oh, a solid stiff arm and some open field. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39.
86 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here.
We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that one looked like it might be another.
Yeah, I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let him get to the second level because sometimes he'll break off the big run on his own, but oftentimes you get additional blocking at the second level, which gets you deeper into the secondary.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
32 Stinger. Ready.
From the gun, he'll hand this off.
And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Well, from an offensive perspective, that was a tough run because he only picked up 3 yards. But let's flip it over to the defensive side. They now have the advantage. 3 3-yard gains. That means they're punting the ball likely on 4th down. That's what you're looking for when you're playing defense.
On 2nd down, Tua. Now they go screen. It's complete. He had a great move, but he'll still be stopped shy of midfield.
That's a nice design there, but sometimes, though, you get so many blockers out ahead of you, they kind of slow you down and force you to adjust. You always appreciate guys trying to help you, but maybe one less there could have turned this into a bigger gain.
Turbo 2. Hey, turbo 2. Turbo 2. Turbo 2.
From the gun, they'll try to run it.
And he gets this one across midfield for the 1st down to the 46. Give them the 3rd down conversion, 5 yards on the play.
Brandon, what were they thinking on defense there? That looked like they were playing for the pass. That was 3rd and short. Yeah, it was an easy pickup because they handed it to him. That was way too easy.
Just looked like absolute confusion defensively. Not sure why they were in that set.
Yeah, I'd say you ought to have a few men in the box there.
So from Panther territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 46. Here's a give up the middle. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure if you're a back, you spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage.
2nd and 5. Here's a toss left for Achane.
After a gain of 5, they'll wind up being about a length of the football short here on 3rd down.
In my book, that's running the ball well, but with intelligence. How about him keeping the clock moving, staying in bounds?
Yeah, even though it's the 3rd quarter, you're thinking ahead, aren't you? This is where your running game can really help you with a lead in the 2nd half.
I agree totally. It's not just end-of-the-half situations that you worry about the clock. It's throughout the game. And with a lead, stay in bounds. Make them fight harder to try and catch you.
Just a gain of a couple, but good enough to keep the drive rolling.
3rd and inches, they just hand it to the big battering ram there. That's football 101, isn't it? That's bread and butter. Turn around and hand it to the big fella and let him get forward for a 1st down.
Ready.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Turbo 3, kick.
Up the middle, Achane.
And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
Now a 2nd and 6.
All right, fellas, listen up.
They'll try and run this one right up the gut. 2 yards the gain there, and now they're left with a third and about 4 for a first.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Yeah, this won't be enough. Stopped a yard short after a gain of 3, 4th down. It's a pickup of 3, but it brings up what will be an interesting 4th and 1. 3 quarters in the books. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. And we're back now in Charlotte. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th.
What?
Needing the tough yards, they run it with their full. And I'm not sure he got there. Did they stop him? Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts. McDaniel, he's going to ask him to take a closer look at this call, and out comes the challenge flag. The thing that they'll be looking at is a spot of the football, and this is always such a tough one for officials to get exactly right.
Not just because of how fast the game's going, but just trying to get the right sight line to the football. That's not always easy. We'll see what they decide here.
And Young's throw there incomplete. He was trying to get it to Zay Jones that time. Bring up 2nd down.
Let's go.
Young off the play fake. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. That winds up pushing him back 11 yards on the sack. And that'll bring up 3rd.
But one thing I do know, these guys on defense, they don't want this game to end. They're winning by multiple touchdowns. They've shut down the opposing quarterback in a big way, and they're still picking up sacks as we approach the end of this one.
That throw by Young incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
And he'll take it on this side of midfield. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Dolphins will begin this drive in great field position, 1st and 10. Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. In the midst of a very one-sided affair, I think this is where you and I have to fill a little bit. You want to regale us with old stories of your childhood in New Paltz, New York?
I don't think anyone wants to hear that, but this is a perfect time for us to start listing MVP candidates, right? The best teams we've seen so far this year, the best games that we've called thus far, how we anticipate the season unfolding. We can go in so many different directions because the game certainly not taking us there.
Oh, I hear the remotes clicking off right now. And now a first chance for the backup here to throw. Inside the 35-yard line. It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out, and by a few inches, that'll be a first down.
And that's not a play that you see all that often at the start of a drive, but some teams, they don't mind doing it. And that one, well sold by the offensive lineman. They showed the pass, and then they got out into space, able to get some good blocks downfield and allow the play to be successful.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll look to throw. Throwing left side, it's complete. And they move this all the way down to the 9. A really nice gain of 25 yards. Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the number 3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it, from route running to catching the football. That's why he's able to produce those types of numbers.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. A great play there. His 2nd touchdown of the game, giving him 12 on the season. And the Dolphins add on to their lead, and it's looking like that win streak is going to extend another week. Sanders on for the extra point. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And a 9-yard run on the end of it. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. Scott on the return out of the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. Carolina getting set to take the field. Their mini 2-game win streak appears it might be going by the wayside unless they can pull a rabbit out of their hat.
Set hut. Yellow. Lining. Check white. Blue. Check.
It's Young on 1st down. Over the middle, and it's incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
A 2nd down throw for Young. And that one's going to be off target and incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
This offense on 3rd down today, not so hot. 2 for 9 to this point. This is 3rd and 10. Now Young. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have a Panthers 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Well, a touchdown here on this drive, it wouldn't really put much of a dent in the score, the deficit right now, but as you've mentioned in the past, CD, their coach is probably just hoping to see something executed correctly on this drive before we close out the ball game.
Yeah, and I think that every guy who's on the field has to feel exactly the same way, because if not, they might be looking for replacements. Treat every drive as if it's your last and make it a successful one in some small way.
Ball on the 36 now. Here's 2nd down and 7. This complete to Jones. Just a gain of a couple there. And it brings up 3rd and 5 now. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
And Young's throw there incomplete.
That incompletion brings us one step closer to the end of this one. Maybe mercifully, partner. And let's face it, though, no surprise, they're still flinging it around. They have pride, too.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. Good blocking there. Nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And that will come the offense as they take over. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch, Mr. Davis.
So we could talk about food because that is something that you and I both enjoy.
We share that.
We enjoy our time at the table. So maybe the best steakhouses in the city, but in all seriousness, the performances that we've seen this year, we've seen a bunch of great ones, and it's going to be hard to parse who's going to win the MVP.
Yeah, it really is.
Is it going to be a runner? Is it going to be a thrower? Can a defender finally win it this season? Those are the things that we could probably discuss.
And collectively, this is about as dominant of a performance as you could have hoped for on both sides of the football.
Might have to put it #1 for what we've seen this season.
On second down, they'll run it here.
And he'll be stopped at the 46. Gain of 3.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
They'll come up now 3rd and 3.
He'll look to throw.
And that's going to wind up incomplete. Nearly their first pick. Does bring up 4th down. Well, let's face it, not a lot left for them to prove in this game, but they're still throwing the football. I guess, of course, CD, you could always get the backup some work. There's new plays to try out. But some people, let's face it, they just want to run the score up. It's fun.
I love the way that you expressed that because you gave plenty of reasons why people like to do things. But ultimately, they just like to keep their foot on the gas, and they just want to tromp on teams. And what I like to see is, if you like to do that, how do you handle it when it comes back against you? On those days where someone can run it up on you, do you handle your opponent to? If so, keep doing your thing.
Now they go for it on. This one is going to wind up incomplete. So they were really trying to put the nail in the coffin there already with this lead here in the 4th, but they didn't get it.
Guaranteed, it's not going to be a fun handshake in the postgame, right? You just know that there's going to be some bad blood there. And I know if we go to the postgame press conferences, the winning coach, you know what he's going to say, why he did it? We need the points, okay? Because you never know at the end of the year if points are going to come into the tiebreaker if we're trying to get into the playoffs. That's always the standard justification. Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
Young to throw it. And he finds his tight end. It's Ertz. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. The start for them near flawless. Defense gets them to 3 and out. 2 quick pass connections on offense.
So that's how a team works together. Just what you described. Get them the ball, give them a little momentum, and they're capitalizing off of that. Thanks a lot, guys.
On play action, Young. And he's got Cooper on the out route. That's complete. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. 13 yards, first down, Panthers.
First down. First and 10 at the 21-yard line.
Smith rest. Switch.
To the air once more, Young. Incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it. And it's second down.
Times in this game, offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. And this is Ertz with it, right side. 5 yards, now it's 3rd and 5.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on second down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
From the shotgun, it's Young. And that is incomplete.
This has obviously been a bad loss, but one of the few things they can still do is try and throw the ball all the way to the end zone and get some points on the board so they're not shut out over the final 2 quarters of this game.
Cade York on now for the field goal. From the right hash, just a 34-yard attempt. York able to send this one through. This remains a large deficit. Well, in the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
Dolphins offense returning to the field. And they just continue to roll right along, really. This has the looks of yet another victory as they hope to polish it off here in quarter number 4.
Now, that's the kind of return that warms the heart of a special teams coach. He'll be pushing us next time, Brandon, to make sure his guys are introduced in the starting lineups. These guys have such an influence on every game. The unsung heroes, remember, they have their own meetings, their own practice time, heck, their own spot on the bench in order to be ready to play each and every week.
Number 13. 8 yards on the pickup. Brings us 2nd and 2. At the Panthers, 41.
2 yards to go, second down.
60 bison, 60, Bronco switch, Bronco switch.
They'll try and run some clock here. The ground, and there just continues to be nowhere to run. He's bot. At the line of scrimmage.
I would think as a play call, you want to look for some quick hitters to your tight end, any type of a route to replace where that linebacker was, because when you saw the speed with which he reacted and stuffed that play, maybe use that speed against him in the future.
And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. Last play, they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards.
Partner, I have to tell you, just one word keeps coming to mind from watching them this afternoon, and that's impressive. They have been impressive from the opening kickoff, and they haven't let up here even into the 4th quarter.
So the Dolphins have it as we welcome you back in. And they have just about put this one on ice as they've got it here, 1st and 10. Running right, here's Achane. second down at the 20 after a gain of just 1.
The call. Still an opportunity to run the football and chew up a little more time off the clock.
Now 2nd and 9.
Now it looks like he'll throw here. And he finds a man on the crossing route. And this will be a gain of 6 when it's all said and done. Down to the 15 from the 21.
Brandon, so many times we see the crossing route start as a quick hitter, but in this play, he had time in the pocket and waited for him to clear going across.
Now back to throw. And give him another 6. It's caught for a touchdown, and the blowout continues.
Another touchdown here in the 4th quarter, and Charles, I think we can start to consider that this undefeated streak of theirs is going to be safe for another week.
And partner, you don't make it this far into a season without a loss unless you're getting contributions from both sides of the ball, and sometimes even your special teams, and that's been true today. Each side helping guide them to this late lead.
Sanders now to add the extra point. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. A drive that time of 6 plays, and it ends with a touchdown for the Dolphins. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown.
And the drive will begin at the 25 as Scott is going to stay in the end zone.
Here's the Carolina offense as they get ready to take over here.
Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow. This has been a rough one, to put it mildly, for them. And after this one's done, you just feel like at the post-game press conference, this team's going to have a lot of questions and definitely not a lot of answers.
Young's throw taken in by Cooper here.
And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. Allen covers 24 yards. It's a first down. Young to throw it. It's caught. Cooper. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. Short completion, just 4 yards, and it'll be second down. Now here's Young. This is Ertz on the pitch and catch. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
On 3rd and 1, here's Young.
And that's to the left sideline and incomplete.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration of body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
No choice but to go. Here's 4th down now.
One last shot for Young. One last shot at the end zone. And that will be incomplete. They were going for a consolation TD, but it was not to be. And time has run out now on this game. So a victory here for the Miami Dolphins. And it was a game where they were off and running in the first quarter, Charles, and never looked back.
You know, partner, after a while, we always say the same thing, don't we? They set the tone early, right? They started fast. So I asked a few of my horse racing friends, do you have a term for me that we can use to cover that? And they said, yeah. When a horse breaks out like that, you say he caught a flyer out of the gate. And that's exactly what this team did today. I mean, they jumped out there, jumped on them, and were never headed.
So for the Dolphins, the train just keeps rolling. 9-0 now to start this campaign. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for Carolina, they drop back to 500 now at 4 up and 4 down. And they'll try to get back on track next week as they head to Dallas to take on the Cowboys. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.